Welcome to the November 2024 edition of the GECF Monthly Gas Market Report. We would like to present a short overview of the main highlights of the report, which include the major developments in the gas market during the last month. Global GDP growth forecast for 2024 remains steady at 3.1%. In the US, the GDP growth forecast has been slightly raised to 2.8%, reflecting robust performance in the third quarter and expectations of moderate improvement in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, GDP growth projections for the euro area and China remain unchanged at 0.8% and 4.8%, respectively. Looking ahead, global economic growth for 2025 is expected to hold steady at 3.2%. Additionally, inflation continues to ease worldwide, with average rates projected at 4.5% for 2024 and 3.5% for 2025. In October 2024, gas consumption in the EU saw a second consecutive year-on-year increase of 5.5%, reaching 23.5 BCM, following 7 months of decline. This growth was mainly driven by the industrial sector, with a recovery in key industrialized European countries, supported by lower gas prices. Total electricity production in the EU rose by 1% year-on-year, reaching 200 terawatt-hours, partly due to increased demand for cooling. According to the EU's climate monitoring service Copernicus, October 2024 was the second warmest October globally, after October 2023, with average surface temperatures 0.8 degrees Celsius above the 1991 to 2020 norm. Despite this, gas consumption in the electricity generation sector declined by 8% year-on-year, reflecting higher outputs from hydro, solar and nuclear power. In October 2024, US gas consumption increased by 2.8% year-on-year to 70 BCM. Gas-fired power generation witnessed a 2.4% year-on-year increase, while overall power output rose by 0.7% year-on-year. In the power mix, gas continued to lead with a 44% share. In September 2024, China's apparent gas demand, which is estimated as combined domestic gas production and imports, rose by 12% year-on-year to reach 35.8 BCM. This increase is primarily attributed to the surge in demand from LNG-powered trucks that was driven by the national subsidy program launched in June to replace diesel trucks with low-emission alternatives, along with lower LNG prices compared to diesel. Gas-fired power output rose by 10% year-on-year, with prolonged hot weather in the southwest region increasing power demand for cooling. The projected growth in global gas consumption for 2024 has been revised upwards to 2.3%. This revision is primarily due to a faster-than-expected increase in gas consumption in key consuming countries, which together account for 60% of global gas demand. In September 2024, global gas production was estimated to have increased by 2.1% year-on-year to stand at the level of 339 BCM. All the main producing regions showed a positive production trend, except for Africa, which was impacted by the decline in some of its major producers, and North America, which witnessed a decline of 1.9 BCM, driven by the lower gas output in the US. In the first 9 months of 2024, global gas production was estimated to have increased by 2.6% year-on-year to stand at 3,120 BCM. This growth was primarily driven by the rise in Russia's production. The projected growth of global gas production for the year 2024 has been revised up to 2.5%, driven by a stronger-than-expected gas output in the Middle East. In September 2024, Europe recorded a 5.5% year-on-year rise, culminating in a total output of 11.7 BCM. This increase primarily originated from the effect of the historical low monthly output in September 2023, along with the rise in Turkey's gas output. In September 2024, China's gas production rose by 8% year-on-year to reach 19.3 BCM. Coal bed methane output continued its growth to culminate an output of 1.4 BCM, with a 23% year-on-year rise. In October 2024, the US total gas production continued its downward trend with a 0.8% year-on-year decline, reaching a monthly output of 90.6 BCM. This reduction in the U.S. output reflected the combined effect of the Hurricane Milton, which resulted in a temporary shut-in for multiple Gulf of Mexico gas production platforms, along with the effect of production cuts by some major producers. Additionally, from January to October 2024, the U.S. cumulative gas production increased by 0.2% year-on-year to reach 889 BCM, representing a record high. In October 2024, PNG supply to the EU rebounded by 24% month-on-month, following the maintenance-related restrictions of the previous month. The EU imported 13 BCM, which was just 1% lower than the level of 1 year ago. From January to October 2024, EU PNG imports reached 130 BCM, an increase of 3% compared with the same period in 2023. There were notable increases in PNG exports from Norway to both Germany and Poland during the month. Algerian supply increased via both routes, with flows to Italy rising by 68% in particular. Imports from Russia, Azerbaijan, and Libya increased slightly, while net flows from the UK to the continent fell by 55% month-on-month. China maintained the high level of PNG imports this year, reaching 7 BCM in September 2024. This volume was 15% higher than 1 year ago, but 1% lower month-on-month. China's total PNG imports over the 9 months of 2024 increased by 15% year-on-year. Global LNG imports in October 2024 climbed 8.6% year-on-year to 34.4 million tons, setting a record for the month, with strong demand in Asia-Pacific and rising imports in Latin America and the Caribbean and Middle East and North Africa regions. Favorable price arbitrage from the Atlantic Basin, particularly the US, along with rising gas demand and pre-winter LNG restocking, boosted LNG flows to Asia-Pacific, led by China, India, and South Korea. Meanwhile, Europe's imports fell due to high gas storage levels, open Asia-Europe price arbitrage, and robust pipeline gas imports. On the export side, global LNG exports increased by 1.8% year-on-year, reaching 34.6 million tons, the highest level since March 2024. This growth was driven by stronger LNG exports from Australia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Oman, and Qatar. Gas and LNG storage levels in the major regions are high, in preparation for the Northern Hemisphere winter season. The average daily volume of gas in storage in the EU in October 2024 increased to 99 BCM, or 96% of the region's capacity. Even with 2 BCM of gas withdrawals, there were still 1 BCM of net gas injections during this month. Over the entire restocking season for 2024, the EU injected 39 BCM of gas into storage sites in the region. In Asia-Pacific, the combined volume of LNG in storage in Japan and South Korea in October 2024 increased to an estimated 14 BCM, which was 1.3 BCM more than the 5-year average storage level for that month. In the US, the average daily volume of gas in storage in October 2024 rose to 106 BCM, or 79% of capacity, while remaining 4.5 BCM greater than the 5-year average. In October, gas prices in Europe rose, while prices in Asia remained relatively stable. The TTF spot price averaged $12.78 per million British thermal units, reflecting a 9% month-on-month increase, while the average Northeast Asia spot LNG price held steady at $13.13 per million British thermal units. In the US, the Henry Hub spot price declined, averaging $2.20 per million British thermal units, a 3% month-on-month decrease. Looking ahead, spot prices are expected to gain support from rising European gas demand, driven by anticipated below-normal temperatures, along with increased LNG procurement from Asian buyers ahead of the winter season. Thank you for watching this short video presentation on the November 2024 edition of the GECF Monthly Gas Market Report. We invite you to download the full report from our website at www.gecf.org, or you can scan the QR code.